And here comes your Week 10
for our regular
recap.
commissioner is we did a little switcheroo this week. He's doing my league recap. I'm doing the Dynasty recap just for some fun. But let's just get right on into it. We're going to start with the Kios Rento matchup of the week, and that was Ivan the Honey Badger against Borkham's Ball Busters. Congratulations to Matthew Bork, your first victory in the Dynasty. It took you 10 weeks, but you have now gotten there. Exceeded projections overall, which we all know our commissioner loves those projections, and his 94 to 89 victory. You can thank a couple people on your team. Russell Wilson, how did you get him anyways? What a great trade for you. 18 points thanks to over 100 yards rushing. Jared Cook, Safarian Jenkins, both had, really for them, great games. A combined 30 points. Did not get any help from people like Stedman Bailey, Brian Hartland, Khatri. Yeah, a lot of your team sucked otherwise and failed below projections. But those big dogs are the ones that helped you out. Ivan had a great game from Kelvin Benjamin. Stafford had his usual consistent game with 17 points. And same with Gore with 15. However, he has some zeros up there. He had Holmes with 0. Ivor only put up 5. Britt, 6. I mean, there's just far too many people who are scoring 7 points or under for him. That's how he ended up with his 89 points. Off the bench, there was not a lot more that could be done either. Bortles had 11 for Borg, so he wouldn't have mattered. His kicker, Bryant, had 19. I mean, that could have helped him out a little bit. And I guess Ivan could have put in, instead of Holmes, he could have put in Clay with 11. Got the victory. Not a big deal either way. Congrats to Borg. You officially move up to 11th place. And Ivan, you dropped to 12th. In our next game, it was the matchup of the week. It was the rivalry of the week. It was the redheaded stepchild of the week. Jack's Hurricanes against the Fist Pumpers of Andy Hummel's team. Jack's Hurricanes walked away with his 8th straight victory. He won 159 to 95. Even though Andy was actually projected to beat him by 3 points, this was a huge blowout. 64-point victory. Andy just started a plethora of people who didn't show up whatsoever. Zach Ertz, AJ Green, Tillman, Riddick, Macklin, all way under projection. Actually, Riddick scored more than his projection, but the rest of them way under projections, way under 10 points. Demarius Thomas is the only one that really stuck out with 21 points. There was just nothing else left on his team. And I know he had a lot of buys going on. You know, he had injuries with Nick Foles. He had Vereen on a bye. He had Nick's on a bye. Who cares? Monty Ball is still Monty Ball. Sean Green put up negative points on his bench. So really, I think Andy's team has been outperforming expectations all year long, and he finally got stuck on a normal week, and he got the loss. So Eric got to be the beneficiary of that. Why wouldn't he be? Actually, Eric did have a very good week, 159 points. I believe the second highest score of the week, if my memory serves me correctly. Martavis Bryant, I own him in the league. I know you do in the Dynasty. Both extremely happy with how things are going for him. 24 points. Same with Julius Thomas, 24 points. Again, we have both those guys. And Jamal Charles with 23. 3 actually. Emmanuel Sanders, 23. Bolden, 21. Quarterback was your weak position of the week. You know, when you have Andrew Luck, you have to get by with 1 week with anybody else. You had Flacco, who put up nothing, but luckily you did play Andy. And the rest of your guys, I mean, Crabtree with 9, Wright with 9, Folk with 9. Everybody else at least got into double digits. Forte did not play up to Forte standards thanks to that tremendous blowout of a victory. He only scored 10, so he'll probably have a big bounce-back week next week. Eric maintains first position overall. Andy is in 4th place, but I believe still first in his division. I think we've all heard it a million times. Eric is the favorite in his own mind, in his own heart, and probably to lead the league to this victory for the year, whatever. I'm done with this game. Next game. Let's talk about my team. Bear down against the Masonites. Ended up winning 196 to 143. Doug put together really a really good game by his standards. Outdid his projections by 23. I outdid my projections by 53 to get the victory. I ended up moving up to 5th place, overtook Brian slightly. Same record, but have the points lead over him. Doug is in 8th place. I was extremely happy with my team's output. Everybody besides my kicker was in double digits. I think I got that award for most touchdowns this week. And even on my bench, I had Matthews with 32, Wallace with 16. Some really big games. So I'm very happy with the Sanchez switch right now because at least I do have Matthews in this league. I think he's going to look to Matthews a lot because of all the practice time. Mike Evans, my other rookie, coming on big, 25 points. And Marshawn Touchdown Lynch, 4 touchdowns. I want to thank Ferguson for that trade. Was it Ferguson I got that from? I think so. I think it was Ferguson. I don't know. Whoever got him. Nope, that was Bork. Thank you, Bork, for that trade. Breeze in his first week didn't do anything crazy. Didn't need him to. Was 17. Le'Veon a little bit of an off week with 14, but overall, like I said, happy with my team. And really, the same should be said about Doug's team. Doug had a really good week. It wasn't Jordy Nelson, I guess, stuck out of all his team with 33. He had 2 touchdowns, 152 yards against that porous Bears defense. But everybody else had nice games besides Kenny Stills and Derek McFadden. I mean, even with that, you would have had to have another guy or two blow up to come close, but I think you did have the 3rd or 4th highest score of the week. Just wasn't quite enough to take me down. Next game, we have Berg against Jazzy J. Organized Chaos against Wright's Rampage. Rampage with the biggest blowout of the week. Did you double him up? 16? Yep, over doubled him up. That's how bad a game the Organized Chaos played. This was a 3rd win in a row for Jazzy J. I think still leads his division, 3rd place overall. Berg still in 7th in the playoff hunt if he chooses to be, but he has been selling. Things that hurt Berg, Delaney Walker ended up going out with an injury. Reggie Bush was on and off the field with his injuries. Lamar Miller barely played at all. I think he had 4 or 5 carries. Each one of those guys, Miller 2 points, Bush 3 points, Walker 6 points, all way below projections. Watkins with his groin injury, also way below projections with 6. And Justin, that guy who did really good in the preseason and sucks in the regular season, Hunter, another 1-catch performance. So nothing good to talk about besides Steven Jackson scored a touchdown. Sure, and that's it. For Wright's Rampage, possibly one of the most disappointing players of the year, LaShawn McCoy continues to be disappointing. He had a rushing touchdown, a reception. Like, he really didn't do much of anything. But luckily, he had a whole bunch of people that did. Brandon Cooks, another rookie receiver, 20 points. Marshall got a ton of garbage time touches, 25 points, and he had the lone bear score. I'm done talking about this game after Eddie Lacy, sure, whatever. He took a catch forever, ran it. I still think Eddie Lacy sucks and he's fat and he's slow. Jimmy Graham, I don't know what. Did you just trade him? No, you were in talks with. Never mind. Jimmy Graham, I'm glad you kept him. Probably smart for you. 29 points. And, you had to start a couple people. Owen Daniels, James Starks put up a combined 5 points. But again, that's because you had Gronk on a bye, Hilton on a bye, etc. So Jazzy J looking strong going into the next week. Berg, he's not looking strong and is looking to face himself out, it looks like. So for the next game, we have Cecil's Seashorts, Mr. Molesky, against Jack Has My Pants, Rob Adams, 146-97. Rob completely dominated Chris from the onset of things. Tompkins put up a big 0 burger for Chris. Triple S slowing down, 4 points. I think we've seen the best of C. Smith Sr. this year. I'm glad I didn't trade for him. We had talked about it. I just couldn't do it. I'm glad I didn't. Colston, a variety of drops. I think he had 3 drops, which held him to 5 points. Chris did get another nice game out of DeMarco Murray. Murray dependent, perhaps. Who knows? And Mason Crosby was his 3rd leading scorer this week. I love kickers. For the winners, every game that Peyton Manning plays, and if he plays well, Rob has a chance to win. Another 29-point performance. The surprise of the year, perhaps, Justin Forsett with 23. And Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's coming on strong, 20 points. He is, however, hugely hurt by Allen Robinson. He is now on the IR. He is now out for the year. He's going to end up having to start probably Wes Welker. Yeah, probably Wes Welker, or else he's going to have to do more of a Mason, Bernard type backfield, maybe some Alfred Morris, just kind of depending on what he feels every week. So, Rob, firmly entrenched into 2nd place, has a 2-game lead. Yep, he's 9-1, has a 2-game lead over both Andy and Jay, so he's looking pretty good for the number 2 seed, actually. even though he only has 1,374 points. I'll get to that later. Chris, now out of playoff contention completely. I think he might have been before. 2-7, 10th place, right in front of Bork and Ivan. In our final game, we have the Fear Boners against the Pulsating Rhino Nuts. Brian completely dominated Jason. As we know, Jason's a seller. Brian has not decided what he wants to do yet. He keeps winning, though, so that kind of helps. And I'm not sure which people did or didn't see Brian's post, but Pulsating Rhino Nuts spanks the Fear Boners and extends their losing streak. So quite the headline from Yahoo this week as well. Great overall game for Brian. Aaron Rodgers and Des Bryant scored a combined 69 points while they're spanking each other. They got a 69 point outing. I don't know. Randall Cobb, 15. Ellington, 14. Devontae Adams, Heath Miller, Percy Harvin. Those guys didn't even get to the double-digit barrier. But when you have a couple people who put up huge games like what keeps happening for Pulsating Rhino Nuts, you can easily take care of the Fear Boners without an issue. For the Fear Boners, the only good thing that happened was Dwayne Bowe, 17 points. Otherwise, Hearns, Floyd, and Jeremy Hill combined scored 7 points, which is only 1 point less than what Cutler scored for him as well. Just a tough week for Ferguson. It's been a little bit of a tough year. Cameron's been very disappointing for him. Edelman to a point has been. He was on Brady with the bye. Just not a good year. So congrats, Brian. 6th place. Just fell a little bit below me points-wise. Ferguson is in 9th. So a little recap for where we are. In the Moss division, we have the Hurricanes, 9-1. And then myself and Brian, 6-4, 1373 to 1327 point-wise. In the Harrison division, Jack Has My Pants, 9-1. With the Chaos 5-5, Honey Badger bringing up the rear at 1-9. Wrights Rampage leading the Tomlinson division. Yeah, it's done. And Falk division, Andy has that division clinched too. So all the divisions are clinched besides ours, I guess. Even though there's a very big outside chance anything happens as far as myself or Brian catching Eric. And it does look like more than likely Rob and Eric will have the bye. Maybe I'll lose on purpose to get into Rob's portion. I'm not really sure. Anyways, what I did want to point out was one kind of fun fact, just because it's our Randy Moss division, the best fantasy player of all time. The lowest scoring total in our division is 1,327 points by Brian. I have 1,373 and Eric 1,558. The leader of the Harrison division, Rob, 1,374. So he has 1 more point than me with 3 additional wins. We all actually have more points than everybody in the Marshall Falk division. And in the Tomlinson division, I will say this, Wright's Rampage is squarely entrenched in that 2nd place for how many points has been scored race. So it does look like Eric and then Jason will probably be battling for the top point totals. However, our division is just that strong where we outscore basically every other person in every other division. I'm liking it. Actually, I hate it. I can't wait to change divisions next year and then lock them without these people in my division. So hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of a change-up of a recap. Eric will probably be back next week, or probably tomorrow actually, with the preview. Looking forward to the games coming up this week. A couple big divisional battles, a couple big playoff battles. Myself against Brian, that I'm sure he'll have something good for. The game of the week, dare I say. Other than that, I will say this. I think Doug has a chance against Andy. With the way Doug played last week, I think he has a legit chance. And maybe a little bit of a battle for the last place award, if there is one. Cecil C. Shorts and Honey Badger play each other, which could have direct playoff implications for the consolation bracket. All right, appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. Go Bears.